eyeball. That's how many people.
Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Well, sorry, we're a little messed up there, and fix that camera angle just a little bit. How's that?
Yeah, we're all good.
There we go. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Sorry, a little technical thing there. I'm not that kind of person. You all know me. I'm Larry. Sal and is on vacation, visiting his parents, and Brian.
Ottawa, right?
Yeah, no, Brian's down in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Brian's down in Ottawa, and today I have two guests with me. I have Kyle Moser and
This is Ruger.
Ruger.
Come say hello. Up. 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 Don't be shy. Oh, he's being shy.
He's being shy.
Yeah.
Stage fright.
He's camera shy. Yeah.
Yeah, stage fright.
He is burrowed behind me.
Yes, he is.
Oh, under me, I guess. Okay.
So what we'll do real quick, everybody, we're going to reach out to Brian real quick and see how he's doing out there in Ottawa at the Kris Kringle Market. And we'll see if he answers the phone.
Is that like a trade show? Or
It's like a Christmas show thing. Like a flea market almost, I think.
Nice.
I don't have my glasses on. You see anybody get on yet?
No, nobody. The glasses are there if you need them.
Well, I got his voicemail, but he's down there selling coffee down there at the Kris Kringle Market in Ottawa. It's pretty big down there. So
He's got his own booth, or
yeah,
nice.
They have their own booth down there. So if you're looking to go to Kris Kringle Market, either tonight or tomorrow, I would head down there and check it out.
Absolutely.
Say hi to Brian. Next week he'll be out there.
They run into tomorrow too, or just today?
Tomorrow as well, and then I believe it's every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, every weekend.
We're expecting snow tomorrow.
I know. I heard
so
snow. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
So Kyle, do me a favor. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I joined the Marine Corps in 2010. Knew since I was little I wanted to join. Growing up with movies and all that stuff, action hero movies, cartoons, I knew I wanted to join, but I had no idea about the Marine Corps and the fact that it even existed. I was just set on being a soldier and wanted to fight for my country. And when I was in high school, I found out about the Marine Corps, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, the Marine Corps, they're the tip of the spear. They're the best of the best when it comes to infantry." And I was like, "Well, I'm not a slacker. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to be the best I can be." And so that's kind of how I got drawn in the Marine Corps.
It wasn't the uniform?
No, it wasn't the Marine. No, or excuse me, it wasn't the uniform. No, it was just the fact that I just wanted to be the best of the best, I guess. And also I had a buddy who was in the Army infantry, and he was talking to me and he was saying, "Yeah, man, if you want to go see combat, Marine Corps infantry, that's what you want to do. But don't be surprised if, within a year of you joining, you're in Afghanistan already." And I said, "Well, that's the aim. So let's make it happen." And I told my parents at 17 that that's what I was going to do, whether they liked it or not, at 18. And so I managed to convince them to do the delayed entry program, got them to sign the papers, and got my infantry contract. And, back then, infantry was like one of the most sought after job titles, MOSs. So there was a wait list. And so I was very fortunate that I got them to do the delayed entry program because I got my name on the list. So when I turned 18, I think within 6 months of turning 18, I left. Yep. So I turned 18 in December and then left in July. And then, boot camp, infantry, School of Infantry. And then I got put in my unit, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines in San Mateo, California, Camp Pendleton. Initially getting there, within a week of being there, I was the first boot drop, I was the first batch of new guys. And I was very fortunate for that because we got to experience Bridgeport, and it was like January timeframe. So, Bridgeport, if anybody doesn't know, that's like the deep mountains of California. And there was, from what I could recollect, there was like 6 to 8 feet of snow. and we dug down the 6 to 8 feet, once we trekked up. So we went into like deep into the mountains on track vehicles. And then from there we had our snowshoes and trekked into the mountains. and then picked out a good spot. And we're about, I think, a company or two. So we were 2 to 3 companies, but each company had their own designated camp area. But each squad dug straight into the ground 6 to 8 feet, and then once you hit the ground, you dug another like 10 feet perimeter circle, pitched your tent, and then from there we dug like trench lines to all the other tents. So like I just think of the movie like the Star. It was like one of the original Star Wars movies with the snow.
Oh yeah,
and how they had like that trench system.
Empire Strikes Back.
There you go. Yes, and it was so cool. So cool.
Sorry, I used the force on that one.
Somebody's got to. And then that was the most significant. Other than Mojave Viper. So that was like the first big thing we did, and then. Everybody did Humvee training except for me. They found out that I took to the radio, so they made me the radio operator.
Oh boy!
So I,
that meant you have brains.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I always ask a lot of my Marine Corps friends. Though, I had to ask. When you taught the Marine Corps recruiter, did he lure you in there with crayons?
No.
Do you have a favorite color?
Sheer stupidity on my part, just running in there.
Do you have any favorite color?
No. Just, red, blue, and I think that's about it. What is it, maybe gold, yellow?
We have to have that humor, between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why I said, I was initially wanting to be a soldier, and then I found out the Marine Corps is the best of the best, so couldn't do it. Couldn't bring myself to it.
So continue. So
so went to like I was saying. Other than that workup, Mojave Viper was the next best thing. Just doing Mount Town and so Mount Town is like live actors. They have people come in, whether it's like fake insurgents, terrorists, or like injured people playing the part of being injured, and you have to assess the casualty intent to them. And then for me on the radio side of things, medevac, bringing in air support or whatever have you. But I just remember, going through that workup, there was one night op where we dug in, and there was, we all had our MVGs up with the IR lasers, and everybody was shooting at like different designated targets, and you could see like the tracer rounds, and then we had Apaches flying overhead shooting their like missile pods and everything. That was like one of the coolest things that I can remember.
And you were getting paid for that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Pennies on the dollar.
Good times.
You're getting paid for
good times. I do it all over. I miss it every day. And I think that was while I was going through that. That's when we got Bin Laden.
Okay.
Yep. And then I think 2 months later I deployed, and I was there for 3 months. Got blown up twice within 10 days. The first time I was in a vehicle. I can get into that if you'd like, but
sure. It's up to you.
It's quite a long story. I'll just progress forward, and if you want to ask questions about it, you can ask questions about it. So the first one I was in a vehicle. And then the second one I stepped on, the biggest thing for me, and I don't know if this would qualify as PTSD or not, but the biggest thing for me and what affected me in that moment was just the fact that I was being ripped out of the deployment from my brothers, and they had to do the rest of the deployment themselves. I just felt like, and I will continue to feel this way the rest of my life, is that I just didn't do enough. Fortunately, I got to do what I initially wanted to do, which is fight for my country. And I got to shoot at the Taliban, and we chased them down, and, we did key leader engagements and patrols and helping different sects of villages, groups of villages. And what they were telling us, our COs were telling us that we were bringing electricity to villages. We were trying to get them to stop growing opium and grow more beneficial things. And then, just bringing them halal meals and things like that.
Right.
Hearts and minds. Right.
Right.
But like I said, I got to do what I wanted to do, which was shoot at the Taliban and go after them, chase them down. And this is something else I'll always say that, and each circumstance is different. So it's not the case for every military person that served in Afghanistan. But generally speaking, you Iraq veterans, your engagements are like, could be anywhere from like several feet to maybe like yards, and for us, it's more like meters, like hundreds meters, because the Taliban just, that's more sporadic that way. And unless they're like the suicide bombers, or unless they're like really pissed off and ready to die, the engagements aren't really that close. But again, that's just generally speaking. There obviously is circumstances that guys that I know have had, close calls in Afghanistan. But
well, if you don't mind me asking, would you mind sharing like currently what you have right here and what's going on, and like as a result of when you stepped on there?
Yeah, so unfortunately for me, so I was in from 2010 to the tail end of 2011. So let's just round it to 2012. I got injured November 22nd, 2011 when I stepped on it. And so I was only in a year and 8-9 months, 10 months. So I was trying to do the prosthetics, man, for like years, it seemed, at Walter Reed. And what it boils down to is, I tell everybody, when you get amputated, they take the fat and muscle tissue and they wrap it around the end of the amputation to provide for cushioning for the prosthetic. And I've been a skinny guy all my life, and it's been a problem as of being injured, because
so they couldn't take anything from your ass, huh?
No. And so when I walk, it's literally on the tips of my femurs, and it came down to sheer pain and trying to overcome that mentally, which I couldn't do, because in order to push through it, like, I was taking the painkillers, and then that's a whole nother story. I was a jerk to my wife, and that's a different life ago, but just going through a tough period, and eventually ended up just kind of giving up on the prosthetics because of the pain. But since then, through the years and through time, your body kind of adapts. And so I've built up resiliency and stamina and strength to be able to handle my body weight on the ends of my legs. But the issue is my left leg. So my right leg, when I got injured, it had my knee on it, but there wasn't enough skin to salvage it. And I think I told you this. They took a piece. Well, maybe I didn't tell you this. They took a piece of bone from my knee before they chopped it off, and they harvested it in my stomach because they were trying to put it in my wrist to give me more wrist movement later on. So that bone was harvested in my stomach for 8 months while my body kept it alive. And then my left leg is just like complete nerve damage, and that's the problem currently. Like, still trying to work my way up with that. And they can give you liners. So like the liner is like a big rubber
sleeve, right?
Sleeve, thank you, that you put over the end of your leg, end of your nub, and then you apply that to the prosthetic. And yeah, man, it's just really painful on my left leg. I was even thinking. So that's another thing. I had E. coli in this leg, and they had to chop another 2 inches off. And I'm sure you're well aware, but for the audience, the Taliban, and I'm sure Al Qaeda would do this too, would put their feces in the bomb. So that's how I got E. coli. But I was even thinking, because this leg's shorter than this leg, and just chopping off the right side just to make it even with this one, so it's a little bit more. And that's another thing. But like when I work out, different parts of my body compensates because of the disproportionate,
right?
Disproportion. And so that causes like my left side of my body to be bigger than my right. And but no, yeah. So with prosthetics, man, I'm working on it, but the prosthetic department here at Heinz is just slow, and I guess they're back ordered with parts and stuff too. And so it's just a waiting game for those materials. But once I get them, I'm gonna try and take a stab at it. But the last time I took a stab at it, it's just sweat and sweat and sweat.
Yep.
And within 15 minutes of wearing your prosthetics, you're having to take them off already because it's just so much sweat. And then you wipe it down, and then you put them back on, and then 15 minutes later, same thing. So it's just very tedious, very, it's repetitive.
Monotonous.
Annoying. The way I always say is like, you guys with legs with the stilts, you can put on your shoes. People can even slide on their shoes, or kids nowadays don't even tie their shoes. They just pull them on. Yeah, slip them on, pull them on tight. And it's so easy. But like for me to have to do that with prosthetics, it's just so repetitive and annoying. And so I just have given up because of just that alone. But I was told as well that if you can get through that, then your body may adapt and sweat less. But then you could even have surgeries to get rid of like sweat glands down there. But then that could cause infection. Like there's so many different pros and cons.
Well, you know what we could do.
What's that?
You know, remember earlier when we were sitting there talking, we were thinking about what to talk about, and you know, we could try that $130,000 shot, and you know, it's because you know they say drinking, you know, helps, you know, cure the sweat,
Yeah.
you know, in the lower region. So, you know, what about that? You know, it's $130,000 a shot. If you guys didn't hear about that story,
it's worth a try, I suppose.
you know, oh, there is people commenting.
Yep.
Oh wow. Let's see.
Want y'all coffee? And then somebody's just saying US.
So
USA.
Well, come on down, Angel, or go to the website gunbarrel.com and you can order some coffee on there. If you're not local, if you're local, definitely check it out. Thanks very much for commenting, William and Angel. But yeah, we were talking earlier, thinking about what to talk about today, and we found a story about this Macallan that was barreled in 1926 and bottled in 1986. So for 60 years, it aged, and it sold for $2 million yesterday, and it's $130,000 a shot. So if you like liquor, there you go.
It's like if you want to provide for your children, that's the business to be in.
Exactly.
Just, you know,
we're in the wrong business.
Yeah. Or aged coffee, is that a thing? I don't know.
That's not a bad idea to wonder and check out.
Yeah.
Aged coffee. But let's see what else I wanted to ask you about. So, like, what type of organizations are you a part of? Like, what do you do on the side?
Yeah. So the most recent one is called Catch a Lift Fund, and they help veterans get into working out, whether it be CrossFit or powerlifting or cycling. And they have designated coaches that can help you with that. I think when you sign up, there's like 5 different groups that you can, so there's 5 different groups and you can choose 3 of them. One of them is like CrossFit, one of them is the TRX, one of them's powerlifting, one of them's nutrition, and I forget the last one, but just to get involved with those things. And within 2 months of me being accepted, they asked me if I wanted to attend one of their events where they're founded from on the East Coast. And I went and had a great time. It was a great event, great turnout. Flew back home, and then they're already asking me if I want to be a coach. And so I'm going to try and take that up. I got to figure out, because you have to get like a certificate and be certified. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I think powerlifting, or I think it's like an online coach, and then one other thing that I forget, but trying to get into powerlifting, because through Catch a Lift Fund, I found out about, gosh, man, I'm on the spot. I forget the name of it.
That's what I like to do.
So there's Marine Corps trials, and then there's something else, and then the Warrior Games.
Okay.
Or no, that's what it is. So, well, in order to make it into these, you have to pre-qualify with the one before. So it goes Marine Corps Games, or excuse me, what did I say? The Marine Corps, whatever that was, and then the Warrior Games, and then the Invictus Games.
Okay.
That's what it is. And the Invictus Games, I think, is like the top tier one. And that's where, like, of para athletes, you can like get a gold medal. And so that's my goal, to do that. The next, it's, I think, 2 years from now, because the most recent one was in September. So my goal is to do that with this organization, become a coach, and try to remain headstrong with that. But otherwise, the Semper Fi Fund has helped me out immensely. I have a home with Jared Allen's Homes for Wounded Warriors. He was a professional football player who played locally here on the Bears at one point, but he started at Kansas City. Great guy, great organization. You know,
beautiful home, by the way.
Yeah, I couldn't thank them enough. Very grateful for that. And you know, so a couple smaller ones, Operation Warrior Wishes locally. And then on the West Coast, that have helped me out immensely as well, is the White Heart Foundation. They in part helped provide funds for my home. Every year they do what's called a Ride to the Flag event, which is where what's that main highway on the West Coast?
Oh, is it Highway 1?
that or yeah,
Is that it? Or the Pacific Coast Highway?
Thank you, Pacific Coast Highway. Yep. And like, it started out with hundreds and then thousands and then like tens of thousands. I think maybe that's a little exaggeration, but a huge amount of bikers, you know, will line the Pacific Coast Highway for like a mile, if not miles, in support of whichever person they choose. Like, so they'll choose a veteran, or they'll choose someone battling cancer or disease that's just in need of these funds. And everything is donated to them that day. And they have not a trade show per se, but like they have vendors that come and all the proceeds are donated towards that individual. In one year they chose me, so and all the stuff went, all the funds went towards our home. And then there's the Guardian Project, which stems from them, and the Guardian Project takes veterans out to Wyoming and then Utah for camping, whitewater rafting. They do like a gun shoot, and guys locally to that area donate their firearms and their range, and we'll shoot like lever actions and revolvers, double barrel shotguns.
Wow.
What are the smoke powder guns? What do they call those? Black powder.
Black powder. Yep.
Yes, black powder guns, which I've never shot before. It's great, but when you shoot it, it's like all up in your face.
All up in your face, right? Yeah. Big puff of smoke and everything.
Can't forget the scent. But yeah, you just great time with those guys, and they've saved lives, man. And
so you can pretty much attest that there's these organizations out there that really can help out.
Absolutely.
Guys are like our own brothers and sisters that to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. I'm glad that you can share that.
Mm-hmm.
And Warsaw, hello there. How you doing? But is there we're going to keep it short today, guys. But is there anything that you want to say to anybody out there at all? Or
the people watching, or the people that may come to watch this video after it's posted and it's not live, is just whether you are a veteran or a veteran, I like to reiterate that I'm sure if you know a veteran or if you are a veteran, you've heard that a lot of these guys that have experienced, whether they experience combat or just something traumatic in the military, they won't go and get their disability rating. They won't go and get their benefits. They won't take advantage of these programs and these organizations, because at the end of the day, their opinion is, save it for the guys that need it, that have been injured and that are amputees. And, plain and simple, like, they just make excuses of that. And it's like, what? Look where we're at in a society. Like our government is trillions of dollars in debt. We're going to keep pumping out money till the end of time. You deserve, you served your country, you signed the dotted line and sacrificed your body and your time. The least that is owed to you as an individual is that. And, you need to take care of yourself. You need to be the example for the rest of the veterans that need to take advantage of that, because it's there for a reason. And it's to take care of veterans and certain active duty service members. And it's changed lives, and it's helped get a lot of people through dark times.
That's right.
It can help you out there. So,
thank you.
Don't make excuses.
That's right. You can't. Don't make excuses. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
And everybody, I just wanted to let you all know that I forgot to say it. Inside the shop is the gift tree. There's an organization that they have veterans and people that are that can't afford to have everything out there. There's like a wish list on the pamphlets on the tree. All you gotta do is take one, purchase what's on there, wrap the presents, bring them into the shop, and the organization comes by and picks it up right before Christmas. So if you want to give someone a needy person or a veteran a good Christmas, come by and grab one of those. And then stop in and see Sal at the shop. I'm here on Fridays and Saturdays until the Ottawa Kris Kringle market is done. So you can stop in on Friday and Saturday and see me. Remember, I'm the good looking one of the bunch between the three. So, but other than that, thank you very much for popping on and leaving a comment. tell everybody else about Gun Barrel Coffee, and have a great day and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks very much for being here, and go Army.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Have a great day. So that was 30 minutes.
Uno más.
Oh,
Gotcha.